Hello YouTube. I just want to question everybody. I know everybody's going through the same thing with this inflation. My rent went up myself. I just came back from Workforce One again. I hope to get a second job. And I'm like, you know what? It's all good. My son is about to be 16 years old. He's independent. He can take care of himself. So I don't need to I don't need to be with him as much, you know. So I'm like, I claimed it. I said I'm gonna get me a second job. If I don't get me a career job, which I'm looking for that too, I'm gonna get me a second job, and it's all right. It's just a part of life. But so we were in a room and a guy was interviewing people for different positions, and I went to call center. You know, that's easy, on the phone, whatever. And so other people were there for dishwashing, cooks, whatever. And you know, it's just like, it's just crazy how cooks, I always thought, would get paid decently, because you can't have a restaurant without a cook. Anybody could clean, that's easy. Anybody can wash dishes. And I overheard him talking. He was like, telling the people, you know, send your resume and experience. What the fuck you need experience to wash dishes for? I'm like, what? And then the cook, they only willing to pay the cook $16 an hour. That's not right. Like, minimum wage is $15. You should be paying a cook, you should be paying them at least $25 an hour starting. Because if the food ain't right, what you gonna have? A bar? You can't even have like a proper restaurant. The cook is the main important person. You can always replace your waiters. You can always replace, you know, if your cook fuck up, and let's say you gotta fire a cook, you know how hard it is to find a good cook, especially for food like, you know, like West Indian food or any type of ethnic food. You gotta get somebody who can really cook. You know, you don't want somebody that the food is bad. You want to make sure, you know. So just to find that out is like, wow, they don't want to pay people. They don't want to pay their cooks. I'm like, that's a shame, you know. And then you know, it's crazy with everything that's going up. But when you think about it, it's always been like this. Because like my father, like most people's fathers, my father worked, he always had 2 jobs, 911, and then he was a musician, something he loved to do. But that was 2 incomes. And then you know, he eventually, before retirement, had a 3rd job doing taxi cab, the yellow cab. So even back in the 90s and 2000s and whatever, people always had to get 2nd and 3rd jobs, because people, it's the rich get richer. So them, they live their lives, but then us, the poor, we suffer from that. And it's messed up, but it is what it is, you know. So I just wanted to ask people opinion, like, what do you feel? You feel the economy, most people say yes, the economy was better in the 90s, but has it really changed when you really think about it? You know, because there's a song called from Richard Smallwood, economy's down, people can't get enough pay. And what's going on now? The economy's down, people can't get enough pay. Like, anybody who don't have a second job, they have another hustle going on or whatever. Because for me, your girl needs, you know, a second job yesterday. So it's to a point when everybody got to get a second job. You don't have a second job, that means you blessed in some other illegal way. You know, what you doing? You know, but yeah, but I remember when I remember when my teachers, they had second jobs, they had after school jobs. One of my teachers, Miss White, her summer hustle was, she had her very own summer camp or whatever. So I remember that when teachers had side hustles and they did things to make extra money even back in the day. You know, I remember some of the teachers be like, yeah, I do this to pay for my car, girl. Or they do hair on the side, or they sell things, or, you know, everybody always had a second hustle when I was growing up as a kid. So that's the question for today. And who's to blame for the economy? Is it the politicians? Is it us? Whose fault is it? Stop and think.